Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot at startup funding and investing. In a fundraise round, many investors do not want to go first. In fact, most investors want to be the last one to join the round, as the risk of not closing is very low. In raising funding, highlight the investors who are already in the deal. Some investors have a reputation for successful funding. Other investors look to the current investors in the deal as a proxy for joining. Ask your current investors if you can use their name in the fundraise process. Invite current investors to give a testimonial about why they invested in the company. This can be recorded and shared with others. In the recording, have the investor talk about what they like about the startup as well as the risks they see. This gives potential investors insight into the diligence the current investors found. Emphasize the diligence work done by the current investors in the deal and show the prospective investors any diligence done so far. Most startup investors are follow-on investors and will look to others for confirmation. When you reach the halfway point of the raise, the sign-up rate often increases. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start listening to today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.